The NFL report cards came out. Now, I'm a little confused by this right off the bat because I thought that they weren't doing them this year. Maybe that comes into effect next year. However, I did see someone say that the NFL is investigating a leak. So maybe they weren't supposed to come out at all and someone just released them. I don't know. But what I do know is we do have the grades. The top three: Miami Dolphins, number 1 for the 3rd straight year. Minnesota Vikings, number 2. Washington Commanders, number 3, which is crazy considering they're at the bottom in the Dan Snyder era. And then the bottom 3 teams in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns at 30, the Arizona Cardinals at 31, and would you believe it, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the historic franchise, dead last in the NFL.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's just read them off one more time. So let's go. Number 1, Miami. Number 2 is Minnesota. Number 3 is
Washington.
So I would say, first off, just based on let's just look geographically, who wouldn't want to be in Miami? Number 2, Minnesota. I don't think a lot of people want to be in Minnesota, but it seems like the facilities, the stadium's new, all that kind of stuff.
Good coaches. Yeah. Good culture there.
And then Washington, D.C., major city, nice city.
And Josh Harris has put a bunch of money into rebuilding the team ever since he came in there.
Yeah, you have a passionate owner. So then worst teams, read them off.
Cleveland at number 30. That speaks for itself.
Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. They always lose. The ownership's bad. They make bad decisions. Right there.
Arizona at 31.
That one's surprising to me a little bit. I think Arizona is a great place to live and be. So I'm a little surprised by that, but they also make bad decisions too, it seems like. And then 3.
And Pittsburgh is dead last.
Nobody wants to go to Pittsburgh. Terrible stadium. Terrible city. It's a disgusting city. Terrible.
I saw that they only have 5 bathrooms in their locker room. 5 toilets.
Really?
That I saw. That's the word on the street. They only have 5 bathrooms.
So I think the tough part about the NFL versus college for a lot of these guys, because again, the Bengals, for example, they got an F- in travel, right? I don't even know how you can get an F-. There are F- on here. We should probably just do it at F. But you can't tell me the Bengals are staying at the Days Inn and flying on Southwest Airlines. They're F- for these guys has to be good. It's not if we took the Bengals travel, we would probably think it's pretty good. I would think, right? But these guys come from college, and these facilities in college are massive, and these scores are probably going to get worse and worse now too as college players get paid. Because if you're at Alabama or Oregon, those facilities are nicer than, for the most part, whatever you get in the NFL. The facilities are nicer in college. So it's a step back in a way, but you are making money.
Well, to be fair, that's not a bad thing to put pressure on the NFL owners to update, because it shouldn't be like that. The NFL is making more money than college is, so upgrade your facilities.
Yeah, but it's only run by one person. That's the difference. It's one person is putting the money in one ownership group, where college is just oil, Texas Tech, just oil money coming all over the place.
Yeah. So I mentioned the bathroom thing with the Steelers, the Packers, who I didn't mention in the top 3 or the bottom 3, but I saw that they don't provide child daycare during practices or games or something like that. That's crazy to me. I also saw Matt LaFleur is the second least trustworthy coach in the NFL or some other thing like that. And to your point, there's several F- on here. The Cardinals got an F for owner. The Bengals got 2 F-. They got an F- in food and treatment of family. They also got a D+ in owner, so it's not good in Cincinnati. Where's some more F- here? The Patriots got an F for travel. You wanted to talk about that. The Patriots getting an F for travel.
Well, I was listening to NBC Sports Boston the other day, and they were talking about the F- in travel. And the Patriots have their own plane. They have their own branded plane, and you'll see it Kraft rents it out to all these other teams. I think the plane's getting old. That's what I hear. So it makes sense. I feel like that plane's been around for a long time. So I just think it's smaller than it should be. The amenities are not great. And again, an F, I refuse to believe that Robert Kraft is sending the team around in bad accommodations. So even though the Patriots are getting an F, and they also made the point that there's a lot of new players coming to the Patriots this year, so they've been in other places where maybe travel's better. I refuse to believe that the Patriots have bad travel accommodations, even though they are an F-. F- on the scheme of the NFL, it might not be good, but I'm sure it's still pretty good.
It's definitely relative. It's relative to the other teams. The Eagles, the Steelers, and the Buccaneers all also got Fs for travel. The Steelers got an F for treatment of family. And that's it as far as the F. So I think the only F minuses I can see, I think it's the Bengals. I think the Bengals got the only 2 F minuses out of everybody.
The Bengals scored so bad. F minus in treatment of families. F in dining room. Nutrition C. A plus for the locker room. That's interesting. The Bengals do have a nice stadium though, and they do have all their accommodations are like right there, and it's easy to get to. So maybe that's a reason. B plus for training room. Training staff A minus. Weight room B. Strength coaches A minus. A minus team travel. Like that's surprising to me that the Bengals got an A minus in team travel. But they got an F minus in, treatment of families and F in food dining area. Like there's rumors going around that the players have to buy their own merch or something like that, or they don't get to keep it at the end of the year or something like that.
Like high school sports, you got to turn the jersey in at the end of the year.
Turn the jerseys in at the end of the year. So, so I think something crazy too here, when you look at the head coaches, a lot of the head coaches who got fired got A's and A minuses. So here's another thing about these report cards. If I hate my boss, I'm going to trash them, right? I'm going to trash them in every single way. So if you hate your owner and you're trying to save your coach, you're going to try to give your coach a good score, even though they might not deserve it. But like, I think pretty much every coach who got fired got an A or a B. So Arizona, A. That was a coach who got fired. Atlanta, A plus, fired.
Well, here. So I have a full list of like every coach sorted by top to bottom grade. If we want to just go through that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so there are only 2 A pluses in the entire NFL.
Raheem Morris was one. Right?
Who?
Raheem Morris was one.
Not an A plus.
I'm seeing it on here that he got an A plus. Falcons, A plus.
I have him at B plus. This is I'm reading it according to Diana Rossini.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I see it.
I got A plus for Sean McVay and Dan Quinn, which is weird that Dan Quinn's in there. An A for Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, Andy Reid, Kevin O'Connell, Mike Vrabel, Aaron Glenn getting an A is wild. Nick Sirianni, Mike Tomlin, and Mike McDonald.
Yep.
A minus for Sean McDermott, fired. Dave Canales, Zach Taylor, who should be fired, Brian Schottenheimer, D'Amico Ryans, Shane Steichen, Liam Cohen, Kellen Moore, and Kyle Shanahan. B plus for Jonathan Gannon and Raheem Morris, both of whom were fired. A B for John Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Mike McDaniel, and Todd Bowles. A B minus for Matt LaFleur, Brian Callahan / Mike McCoy, the Titans guys. A C plus for Pete Carroll. But that's surprising because Pete Carroll's supposed to be like a guy's guy. I guess they were just frustrated with losing. And then also Jim Harbaugh is a C plus, which I didn't expect to see. C for Brian Dable / Mike Kafka. And then the lowest graded coach in the NFL, Kevin Stefanski, C minus.
Yeah, like the coach scores are not too bad when you really look at them. Like for the most part, everyone scored well. But like if a coach gets fired and the players score him as an A or even a B, like you would think if you're getting fired, your players don't look at you the best. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. But I would think a lot of these scores too, when you really look at it, I feel like it's very based on how does the team feel about the owner, and then it kind of goes from there.
Yeah, if we look at this as well, like let's just say, let's take Brian Dable, who got a C, right?
Yeah.
He probably has his guys, and then he probably has people that don't like him as much. The locker room's probably divided. So he probably got half A, he probably got 1/3 A's, 1/3 F's, and then the guys in the middle were like, oh, I'll give him a B or a C. And that's how he gets a C average.
Yeah, definitely. But a guy like Brian Dable too, he got fired week 8,
9, somewhere around there.
So like it's hard to. I wonder how that works when you get fired week 8. How that you factor in the head coaching scores, if you do it like based on Dable or you do it on the both or the whole situation.
I do find the interesting scores to me: Dan Quinn getting an A plus and Aaron Glenn getting an A. And those teams were really bad last year, but clearly the players still like them.
I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of times the bad coaches are probably the really good players, guys, because they just can't coach, but they relate to the players. Like, it doesn't surprise me that Aaron Glenn scored high with players because he was a player himself.
Did you see he fell asleep at the combine yesterday?
I don't know if he fell asleep. I refuse to believe that. I think he was. I kind of think he was looking down at his phone because when you're like falling asleep, you're like blinking, like you're like, and then you like go like that. Like he didn't really do that. His eyes were kind of down, and then he like looked up. He saw himself on TV, and then he got up like this. But it wasn't, like you're falling asleep, you're like that. You quick jerks.
He is also. How old is Aaron Glenn? Aaron Glenn age.
50?
Aaron Glenn's 53 years old. He's at the age where he could just kind of very subtly drift off and then snap back into it.
Yeah, but like there was no snap. It was just like, it was just like I closed my eyes, I opened my eyes. So I don't know. I mean, I think he I don't know if he was falling asleep, but it's not a good look no matter what. I mean, the Jets cannot be affording to fall asleep at the combine. They need everything they can get. What do you think on the report cards, the most important thing for players to decide?
Like if I'm a free agent and I'm going somewhere and I want to like I can only pick one category to determine if I'm going there. We got coach, owner, food, travel, weight room, treatment of family. I would say locker room. I would say coach. It's got to be coach.
I think it's owner for the most part because teams that score high with owner seem to score high everywhere else. Like Washington, A+ owner, A's pretty much A's and B's.
They're top three. Yep.
Seattle, A's across the board, A owner. San Francisco, A- owner, pretty much A's across the board.
Vikings, A+ owner. They were number 2.
New Orleans, same thing.
Dolphins got an A owner. They were number 1.
Yeah. Chargers, A- owner, scattered across the board. But like for the most part, if you had A owners, you had high scores. Really, you didn't have many C's on there.
Well, let's look at the bad owners, right? D+ owner is the Bengals, which makes sense.
You can't judge
owner,
the Bengals, yeah.
C owner for the Browns makes sense. Mm-hmm. I will say the Chiefs C+ owner. That's interesting.
Like if you're a free agent, I don't know why you would ever decide to go play for Cincinnati. Unless you're a receiver and you're like, I want to play with Joe Burrow.
You want to get a bag, yeah.
Yeah, like that's the only reason I would ever go to Cincinnati with how bad. First off, who wants to go to Cincinnati? Like, do you really want to play in Cincinnati? Same thing with like Pittsburgh. I would never want to openly go play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It doesn't do it for me.
D- owner, Steelers.
Bad city. Cold.
Great baseball stadium though.
I've never been to the baseball stadium.
Oh, see, that surprised me because you're the baseball guy and I've been there.
But like
it's
baseball,
beautiful. You have to go, dude.
I know, but also like the baseball team, like the owner, the Pirates ownership's like one of the worst ownerships in sports.
Yeah. Just go on a Paul Skeens day.
Yeah, that's probably the only time they sell tickets. So, what else? Anything else here, Grant, on the report cards?
I am surprised, however, they came up with the final score. I'm surprised the Seahawks weren't in the top 3. I mean, they've got A-, 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 B+. So, however the grading scale worked, thought they would have been the top 3. But nothing too surprising, I guess. Really, the Commanders, actually, I'll take it back. Commanders I want to say they were dead last 2 years ago, and now they're 3rd.
And you know what? I'm surprised with like treatment of families. The one thing I am, because it's really hard to get an A when it comes to treatment of families. And that's probably because not everybody, in the end of the day, everyone's family is taken care of differently. Like obviously the starting quarterback's family is going to be treated better than the backup offensive lineman's family. Like it's just the way it is. So I think that's probably why it's so hard to score high there.
There's only 2 A's in treatment of family, the Vikings and the Raiders. And conversely, there's only 2. There's an F and an F-. Bengals got an F-, Steelers got an F for treatment of family. Lots of scores in the B, C, D range.
Yeah, the Chiefs got a C in that category. Chiefs don't score high across the board, but I guarantee Patrick Mahomes and his family are taken very well care of when they walk into Arrowhead Stadium every day. So
for sure. Taylor as well. Taylor's getting all the bells and whistles.
Taylor's getting everything. Travis Kelce's playing next year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's coming back. They were they were watching the hockey game together. I heard about that on the Kelsey's podcast. I feel like the Kelsey podcast kind of fading now.
New Heights.
New Heights, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think people are just getting a little tired of them. They've been a little overexposed.
Yeah, definitely. And also, why did Front Office Sports use Tua as the cover photo?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Why would they do that?